Hey, joined now by one of the most recognizable stars from TV sitcoms in the 90s, Jaleel White. He's out with a new book, a memoir that just dropped on the 19th. Thank you so much for being here. This is an honor.
Dude, thank you for having me.
You're busy, I know, going around promoting this book. You are leaning into your signature character, Steve Urkel, who I think people like synonymous with Jaleel White. Why the lean in so hard on this memoir?
You know what? I had a lot of questions that people ask me all the time, and they've asked me for decades now.
Yeah.
And when I started writing answers to those questions, I realized I had enough for a book proposal. And Simon & Schuster could not have been more welcoming. Yeah. It was fantastic. I got introduced to them by a company called the AP Brand Group. And from there, it was just a triangle of a love fest. And over a year's time, we put this thing together, and I'm thrilled. It ended up being a book about humility. And really going from being humble to being aware. Okay. A lot of things I actually saw when I was a kid and was probably processing on an adult level, but I was growing up in the 90s when adults could do no wrong, so it's like you stay in a child's place. Yeah. And every story I share has a life lessons really for you out there, and that's really what it's about. Oh, this is fascinating. A wise man once told me there's two types of people on the planet, those who are humble and those who are about to be. Oh, this guy, he didn't tell me he was a rapper. He's dropping bars.
Dude, you grew up in the spotlight, famous around the world. Humility, what is the focal point of it in your book? And it's not easy growing up in the spotlight. Yeah, no, it's I have a chapter in there entitled I don't even have to say the word, bleep. And it's one of my favorite chapters where I go back home with my parents and I have a Thanksgiving dinner and my mom pops in an old VHS tape of us staying at the Penthouse at the Plaza Hotel. Oh, man. And I couldn't watch any more than about 5 minutes of that tape, you know. Yeah. I don't think anybody likes necessarily talking about what they were in middle school. So just add fame to that. And, you know, it's a fun thing to look back on with my parents, though, but in a healthy way. And I want to give my parents their flowers for everything that they did. 100%. You've stayed busy, you've stayed active, you are in the American consciousness, but you did turn down a reboot, correct, of Family Matters? Actually, that's wrong. I didn't turn down. You didn't turn it down? No, okay. I was only offered a blind contract at half my old salary with no script and no writing producers attached. Oh my gosh. So just sign here and we'll go make the show, sell it, and tell you what you're going to be doing. No. Okay, thank you. Okay, even yourself. So that happened many years ago. I don't hold any grudge about it, but I like to get out there and clear it up because people make it seem like there are all these people lined up to work and go back and do the thing exactly the way we did it. And that's not what they were paying for anyway. So the book is what I envision actually for perhaps a show in the future. Okay. I just feel like using me as a canvas for real 90s nostalgia, when you used to get a girl's number on a napkin, when you had the old answering machines by your bed, when it was a big thing for a kid to have a phone in their bedroom. Yeah. You know, that's what I think the legacy of Family Matters should be used for, is to go back in the 90s and have some fun. And I'll tell you what, Family Matters was one of those, you kind of captured something. You really did. Yeah. Some magic in a bottle with the cast, the way you integrated the character, obviously. Tell me about auditioning for Urkel. How did you prepare? How'd you land that? The audition process was really simple. I popped in a tape from the Best of Saturday Night Live, and I was just a black kid that was imitating Ed Grimley. That's it. Come on. Yeah, that's it. No kidding. And nobody noticed really. And then he was so. And then he becomes my own. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Do you feel a weight or a responsibility in that so many people grew up with Steve and the family and, Reginald being America's dad? You know what? I don't feel a weight at all. If anything, I love turning the corner and just being kind of like this nostalgic shot of joy for everybody. Yeah. It wasn't always that way in my 20s, and I talk about that in the book. But especially when my daughter got here, I'm not a bad dad to be picking her up in carpool. And I just want to continue to just enjoy be a conduit for people to enjoy what the 90s really were in their purest form. Yeah. That's why being a game show host is so fun for me. Now, let's talk about Flip Side. Yeah. Let's talk about it. New game show out. It is on our sister station, SBK, every night, 11:30.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy kind of being yourself and not acting? Because it's a different role, obviously.
Yeah, I actually hosted a game show called Total Blackout back in 2012. So, and I do 25 words or less all the time with Merida Vieira. So I didn't even realize I was planting the seeds for this particular opportunity, though. And we ask one question to one group of people, and then we ask the flip side of that question to another group of people. Doctors and patients, flight attendants and passengers. Easy show to play, $10,000 to the winner.
Yeah.
Anybody who thinks they're good enough, come on down. I want you on as a contestant. I just love relating to the guests. It's a tiring gig sometimes, but because just of the volume of shows. But it's just something I enjoy, especially as they start getting closer to winning. You start getting, because not everybody's gonna have the best chance to win.
Yeah.
But you can sense, oh, this couple can do it.
So let me ask you, obviously when you're in character, you are acting, you're on.
Yeah.
When you're hosting a game show, do you, like, lights come on, do you have to be on, or is it just Jaleel having fun with people?
Completely different. Like, it's hosting and acting are two completely different skill sets, but you still got to, it's the same chemistry that I would foster with another actor.
Yeah.
I have to foster with two contestants who I've never met.
Who you've never met. All walks of life.
Exactly.
We're probably looking at you like, oh my gosh, I'm in the same room
So
as Jaleel White.
it's a similar but separate skill set. And I'm just saying, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. All right. So there's a lot of you out right now, and then the real you just needs to go and get some rest because you're on this huge book tour.
I'm pretty rested right now,
This is what an awesome read. Dropped on the 19th. Growing Up Urkel. That ain't Steve Urkel on the cover. That is 100% Jaleel White. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome.
And continued success. You're awesome. And best of luck on both ventures. Jaleel White in the studio.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.